it just has the end date. You can't speak with anyone at this moment.
I'm sorry, what?
The can you just explain the actual system UI that you're going through? There you
Oh
go.
yeah, of course. So basically within the game, we have. Sorry, I'm like trying to get like the chat up so I can also see it. But yeah, so basically, during the daytime, you spend your time in the dormitory. You can talk to wow, I'm gonna turn that off too. Give me 1 second because there's a lot of people following us, and thank you for all the follows.
Yay!
Yeah, wow, thank you.
Shout out to the follow.
But yeah, so when you are during the daytime, you're going to be in the dormitory. You can go to any place in the dormitory, and then you can also go outside. But here you'll be able to talk to a few different people that live in the dormitory. And honestly, so this game it's like you choose your own adventure type as well. So then basically, if you can, it's up to you to keep these people alive. So depending on who shows up during the days in the morning, it depends on if you keep them alive or not. So depending on how you play through the game, the people can be different from like what you see on my screen. So basically, you can go, we don't have anyone outside, but then you can talk to any of these girls, or you can just end the day and skip all the events if you want. But we do recommend going through all of the events, because if you view different events, there's an episode chart, and then when you go into the episode chart, you can actually get like weapons and items and stuff. So they do, this game rewards you for going through all of the event scenes. And there's a lot of game over scenes too. And you get items for dying.
So there's some sassy people in chat saying, different people, no way. Yeah, there's a lot of different people in this game. Get to know them.
Yes.
Get to know all of them.
I am not a waifu killer. Long story short, every time I play a game, my characters die. So, but yeah, so to kind of give you guys like a taste of what the dialogue scenes, they're going to be visual novels. So the daytime is primarily visual novel. So then, so we'll kind of give you like a little glimpse of what it looks like. So then I have it on auto. So basically you have your main characters. Mai Toyama is the one on the right, and then Roddy is on the left. These two are two of the main characters in Death End Request 2. Roddy's mom is actually the headmistress of the dormitory. So then Roddy is kind of up there in terms of
She's in the ranks. She's in the high ranks.
She's in the high ranks, yes.
Yeah. I don't like this Robbie x Robbie comparison, by the way. I don't know.
Robbie x Robbie.
I don't know if I dig that or not.
Someone said, so what happened to Sheena? So there are characters in this game that showed up in the first game that do make an appearance in this game. But for Sheena, you'll have to play to find out what up with her.
Echo MM is asking about the combat. So right now we're kind of looking at the visual aspect of it, and it's kind of like, it's basically the vehicle that keeps the narrative going within the game. So during the day, it's the visual novel lens, and then during at night, that's when the actual combat and the RPG elements come to play.
Yeah. Let's see. So this is basically how the event scene goes. I'm not going to play all of it because I'm trying to make it as spoiler-free as possible. But that's pretty much what the daytime will be. It will be a lot of you talking to people, kind of building those relations with the different characters. Don't get too close to them because you might be heartbroken. I've been heartbroken. I've been heartbroken a few times playing this game.
Yeah,
so people that are just joining in right now, Death End Request 2, right now what you're seeing on the screen, it seems very cutesy, but the game itself is very horror inspired.
Yes.
It is rated M for mature for a reason, because there's a lot of a lot of
if you think about
gory aspects of the game that is you'd be kind of stunned.
Speaking of gory, Rain, how was it writing some of those death scenes? Because like some of the death scenes, guys, are like brutal. Like they are so, like you were talking about the guy who wrote Corpse Party, right? So you can only imagine how crazy these deaths can be. I know like a lot of people were like traumatized from the first game because so many people like died like horribly. So in this game it's also the same. Some of the deaths are actually kind of worse in my opinion. So how did you feel like editing those, Rain?
Well, I think every time we got to the part, I would just be like, "Oh man," you know what I mean? Like I would always and I would always leave a note for the translator too, just kind of like crawling in my own skin a little bit. And then especially like if it's voiced, we kind of know. And so it's always, I think my favorite part whenever we voice those parts is kind of like letting the voice actor know and kind of seeing how they react and seeing how they take it and kind of imbibe it with life, you know? But some of those blood curdling screams and some of the things that happen, it's just like I need to like listen to meditation music on my way home. I need to make it
meditation music.
So you heard it here first. Rain, the lead editor of Death End Requests, is telling y'all to listen to some Enya before you guys play this game.
Yeah, that's right. Get your adult contemporary.
Listen to some Enya, do some new age. Yeah.
Lighted incense. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I just imagine him like taking like a hot shower. And then in the background, you just hear Enya, and he's just like his eyes are closed, and he's just like,
can say we're gonna go? Yeah, so that's good.
Nice. You guys were almost in sync there.
So Fatal Otaku asked the question: can we save everyone, or will people be forced to die?
You know, I wish I could answer that because I clearly have not successfully kept everybody alive. But wait, Rain, do you know? Can you keep everybody alive?
I don't want to.
Okay.
I would encourage people to find out for themselves. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So...
All right, let's go into the game and then kind of talk about. So right now we were kind of discussing the visual aspect of the. I don't know why I keep saying aspects. That's not even a word. So we're talking the visual novel aspect of the game, and now we're going to go into the actual gameplay, and this is when the RPG elements come to play. So right now Xanda is loading up a save file, specifically a save file that hopefully will have some good RNG and see something creepy.
Yeah, so basically in the dungeon, not only are you going to be fighting against like these weird monsters called shadow matter, but like when you are also going through the dungeon, there's these things called like dark shadows or berserkers when they pop up in battle. They're like, just imagine like a blank like Slender Man type guy just kind of will start chasing you, and it like walks like all like like this, and then but
Shadow Man.
Shadow.
Sorry, so I don't know why Nazgul blurred that, but yeah, for sure. Sorry, continue, Xanda.
Oh no. So this is a dungeon. We're in the forest. There's a lot of the story takes place, kind of in the. Oh shoot, am I? Hey! Okay, yeah. So this is You want to not touch that. If you touch that, you will game over, baby. And it's like instant.
My stream is also lagging. I just noticed what you're seeing right now.
I'm scared. It's like instant KO. So then you have to be careful. And then they can also pop up in battle, and their range is intense, and they can just like kill you, like by just doing this. So.
Right, I noticed in the screen, it kind of goes into like this glitch aspect in the game. Can you kind of discuss about the glitch themes within the game of Death End Request?
Throughout the series, or
I think the series itself, just so people are just unaware that the game itself is not like crapping out or anything. Right. It's just the actual part.
No, the game really explores kind of like these worlds of like technology and like our world kind of coming together. It's almost like being inside of like a simulacrum or sort of a simulation. And so when you see glitches inside of the world, it's almost like bugs. These worlds are bugged, and so you kind of go through and want to purge the code of these bugs. Is kind of the objective a lot of times when you progress into the dungeon. So you're going to see kind of like these weird things. I mean, not only do the environments kind of glitch out and transform, but so do the monsters in space, and they kind of.
Sorry, I was like getting chased by a monster, and I jumped onto a platform to avoid it. Just like watching it.
Waiting for you.
Should we do the first giveaway?
Yeah, we can do the first giveaway.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's do the first giveaway. Okay, everybody. So for our giveaways, what we do is we ask a question. So we hope that you guys were listening, because it's usually based off of what we were talking about. And what you do
I hope you guys are listening.
Yeah, so basically all you have to do is answer the question in the chat, and then we will have Nightbot randomly generate a winner. And then, not only do you win have a chance to win a standard edition for Death End Request for the PlayStation 4, you also get a song by either Robbie or Rain.
Oh yeah, okay.
Depending on who wins.
If you guys aren't familiar with the IFI streams, we usually do a silly song for the person that wins. So whoever wins also gets a unique song for themselves that they can cherish forever. So we'll go ahead and pick the first winner.
So we gotta ask the question first. Okay.
The question is the most important part.
Yeah, so if you guys are ready, you want to ask the question, Rob?
Sure. So the first question is, when is the North American PS4 release date for Death End Request 2? I'll put it on the chat as well.
Yeah, and please announce or write the whole month out.
The month and the date.
So the month.
That person wrote it. Person wrote it in European. The full month. Spell out the full month.
Yeah,
don't put it in numbers.
Yes, August 25th. Yes. So then let me put a timer on my phone.
So August 25th. You don't have to put the TH. Just spell August and 25.
And don't spam.
I'm literally telling you the answers.
Yeah, don't spam though, because you only need to say it once. Let me just make sure that it's populating.
Oh, it's populating.
Just to clarify, you don't need to spam. If you say it once, you're automatically added to the actual list itself. Because if you do spam, you might get timed out. And also,
yes,
it's just not fun to look at spam. I don't know.
But yeah, so this is a chance to win a standard edition for the PlayStation 4. And we're going to be choosing 2 winners. You have about 30 seconds left. So yeah,
exciting.
For people who win, please send a DM to the Idea Factory International account. Send us a direct message, and then we'll be able to let you know how to claim your prize if you win. So
yes.
So you have 7 seconds left.
Whoa.
Okay, timer's. Alright, everybody stop guessing. Oh shoot, it's still going. Okay, so we'll give people a few more seconds.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So
Mario Sonic has a good idea. Everyone wins. Yes, everyone does win.
Wait, what? They said they chose the winner. Who's the...
We didn't choose a winner yet.
I didn't see who the winner was. Who is it?
Oh,
Protolini? Protini? Protani.
Protani.
Protani, yeah, the person that just won. Oh, yeah, Protani.
Protellini. Ray, do you want to write the song, or I can do the song real quick?
Protani.
Oh, you got it? You got it. All right.
Yeah,
Protellini. No. Protini.
Protellini.
No, Protani.
Eat tortellini. I said protellini. It's I eat tortellini.
Amazing. Awesome. Protellini, please send us a message, a DM through the Idea Factory International homepage. If you're not sure where it is, it's right there below. It says Idea Factory INTL, and then send us a DM. Rain.
You won.
So let's see. Next winner, please. Sorry, I have to tell someone to literally roll it for us. Who's the next one? Phantom X Death. Phantom X Death has won the giveaway. Yay! All right, Rain.
Phantom X Death. You're a winner. In my book.
Did he freeze? Oh, I thought he froze.
The shortest song in the world!
Nah, keep going.
His name is Phantom. X Death. His name is Phantom. X Death.
Yes!
His name is X Death.
Get it!
Congratulations, buddy.
Nice.
Everyone's like, what the?
Amazing.
Congrats, you won.
Congratulations. So you two, both Protolini now and Phantom X Death, you both won a PS4 Standard Edition of Death End Request 2. So please send us a DM through the Idea Factory International homepage, and then we'll let you know, and we will ship that to you when it releases August 25th. So, anyways, back to the game.
Cool, back to the game. So before this whole what was happening, Zen actually used a buggy skill. One of the characters used it to go up to this platform and get the secret treasure. So each character has their own buggy skill that kind of allows them to kind of progress within a dungeon. In this case, I forgot what the buggy skill is called for her.
Can you give me 1 second, Rob?
Sure.
Someone asked if we could give a Steam code. Can we? Should we? So like if they want a PS4 or a Steam version? Yeah!
I think that's not a problem.
Yeah. So then basically so we actually have a Steam version of the limited edition too. So if you won, let us know if you want PS4 or Steam.
Yes.
Does that help? Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Thanks
Continue,
for the questions.
Oh shoot. I don't know what you were talking about, Rob. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I don't know. I was talking about buggy skills, and the last. I was wondering what her buggy skill was in particular, where she kind of like.
Oh, so
hops in her little needle.
For Roddy, okay, yeah. So, each person has like a dungeon skill or a buggy skill. Each girl has this kind of. How would you explain a buggy, Rain?
So the buggies are almost these like, without giving too much away, it's almost like a concentrated like form of like emotion given form, and so it kind of is like the bugs inside of this world that they're in taking shape and almost like living symbiotically with its host. And so it kind of enables them to, use these powers and do these transformations and even kind of alter the field of play. And so, like you were saying, as you progress the game, you'll be able to kind of use their help in order to navigate and find other corners of the map or the dungeon that might yield some items, or it could kind of take you to another path. So it's almost just like a little familiar.
Right. Someone said, sorry, kind of changing the subject here. Someone said, if I sing Enya and record it, can I get a code? No, but if you sing Enya and record it, we are interested in hearing your Enya voice.
Yes.
You will not get any code, but we will praise you with all of our words. So please go ahead and submit your Enya songs to us.
I'm really just trying to, I want the Enya crossover. That's what we need.
All right, so right now I'm in a battle. So as you can see, right now, there can be multiple enemies on the screen. I forgot what the max amount of enemies that can pop up, but as you can see, there's, what is there? There's like 7 on here right now.
7, yeah.
And then
a lot of enemies.
And if you can see all of the little, like, the circles on the ground, they're called field bugs. So because the world is kind of like glitching out, there's going to be things called field bugs that kind of can affect your gameplay. So then you can actually see what each individual field bug does by hitting square for search. And then you can actually see what it does. So this one has a random parameter, so you don't know what it will be. But then it'll also increase your corruption up by 3%. And as you can see, next to each girl's like face is a percentage. And that's basically how much they can get corrupted. And once they get to 80%, they will glitch out and go into a different transformation where they're kind of all messed up and crazy, but strong. So then you can kind of go, like this one right here is like a mine. So this is will just damage you and up your corruption by 20%. And also you can knock enemies into the field bugs. So you don't have to like walk into them, but you can get rid of them by knocking the enemies into them as well.
So that's also another satisfying system within the game. This is the knockback system where you can actually combo attacks by smacking the hell out of enemies and into your own teammates, and they kind of ricochet off the walls and also within the other characters. So you definitely want to try to combo. You definitely want to combo your attacks just to lessen the amount of turns that you have. And it's super necessary when you're fighting a lot of the bosses. You don't want to go solo in it, and having your party kind of help you out is super important.
For the game, they have something called the Triac System. So basically, you're able to select 3 different commands, and you can kind of mix and match each character has a certain affinity. So the affinities use the sun, the moon, and the star. And each character is either a sun, moon, or star. And then the enemies will also have their own affinities. So as you can see right here, Roddy has her attacks are sun-based, so it's effective on star enemies. So then each character kind of learns different types of abilities. So she does have star skills and moon skills, but each one kind of is strong. Like each person kind of has a stronger affinity towards it, right? So then you can choose what attacks you want, and then I'm gonna see if I can knock back the character into my. So then here you can see the knockback system, hopefully.
So this is that system that Xander was kind of showing off, was that Triac system where you input 3 different actions.
Knockback.
And by the 3rd action, that's when you actually knock someone back into either a wall or to another character.
Yeah, and then basically you can also knock back the enemies into different characters or into other. I think you might have said that already, but you can knock it. Yeah. You can like set up all your characters. Yeah, you can set up all your characters to be able to knock back into each other. So then someone asked what happens when what corruption does. You will see, because Roddy is almost there. So let me just do one of these.
So I don't think it's an Idea Factory International game unless there's a transformation, and Death End Request 2 definitely has transformations for the characters here. So.
I missed. Oh, super knockback! Oh shoot, this is tight!
Smack him.
I got excited. Oh!
They're ricocheting like
Dang,
crazy.
that was tight. Alright. So this is
you notice
Liliana.
that overkill little icon there. So whenever an overkill icon shows, it basically means that you have pummeled the monster beyond the actual health. The more damage that you apply to a monster beyond its health, you actually get more experience points. So it's really good to kind of combo your attack and make sure you're getting the most XP as possible for every battle.
Hey Rain, how was it doing like the voicing for fights?
Oh yeah, yes, I'm curious about that.
Probably
so,
one of the funnest parts. So second to the death screams, obviously, is all the battle lines as far as fun goes. And the thing that's kind of challenging about it, is every time you do it, it kind of puts a strain on your voice. And so we always usually save the battle lines for the end, because it's essentially hundreds of
come on!
Yeah. So, you kind of have to put your
do they do the chest pumps like you just did? Do they do that too?
Yeah. That's part of the job description. You have to. But all those efforts, and especially because every single character is different, and so no matter like what I write, there's like let's say like a list of 200 lines. The actors kind of have to make their own, and there's only so many ways I can write ag, erg, ag. And so it's just hearing hundreds of grunts and then kind of going, all right, we'll take it. And then no, you have to kind of you have to kind of sift through and find the gems in there. There's one perfect hug in every take.
So when you're actually doing the act, like finding like the voices for these characters, you definitely, I feel you have to take into account of the character itself within the game, the context. How was that like the whole deciding factor and like picking out the right VA to do the voice and kind of?
Oh wait, guys, hang on. Roddy's going into glitch mode.
Oh snap! All right, so that's a great question though. We will get right back to it.
Yeah. So this is glitch mode.
Here we go.
So then when you're in glitch mode,
oh,
you can
she's about to blast you.
Oh shoot.
Oh yeah, so the guys are like seeing the stream like at the same time you guys are. So like they're behind.
Yeah,
so basically, whenever you're in glitch mode, there's a special attack that you can only do in glitch mode, and you can only put it in slot 3 of the Triac. So we'll give you guys like a quick look at what this glitch mode attack looks like.
Action,
bam,
stop.
baby! Kick him some more. I like how she has like a gun, right? But then when she does this attack, there's no gun.
Like,
she's just kicking them.
See, that's how.
Well, she shoots them at the end.
That's how badass she is, though. She don't need no gun. She just kicks you. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Ooh,
I love that. Like,
nice.
wait, sorry. I just realized. Did her feet cause the explosion?
I think so. Oh, her feet, huh, Rob? Is that what got your attention?
Oh wait, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. That was unintentional.
Wow.
No one.
You're right.
Make a comment about that.
I didn't know this was a thing until this stream.
just trying to explain to Rain about like Rob's feet. Anyways, sorry, you guys can continue the conversation about if you guys remember what you were talking about.
No, yeah, we were just kind of talking about the taking the characters within Death End Request 2 into account of like picking an actual voice actor and kind of what were like the kind of I guess like characteristics that you wanted to find for like Mai, who's the main protagonist here in Death End Request 2.
Well, with Mai in particular, I feel like she's a very kind of she's a little complex, but definitely has a lot of sides to her. And the thing that was really important was kind of that range because, you know, Mai's had something of a troubled past, and she is very, very intelligent, very, very driven, but the thing is she's a little timid, she's a little reluctant to engage with others socially because she doesn't really trust easily. And so kind of what we do typically when we cast voice actors is, you know, we have the original Japanese voices, and we use those as reference, and then we work with the voice studio to get a series of auditions. And I was really, really happy with Mai's voice actress because she kind of definitely conveyed that range. And you know, you have Mai's kind of introspective, curious side, and then you also have her very passionate and outspoken side because she's looking for her sister. And all that stuff kind of comes together and really makes for a great experience.
Right.
She can the whole game.
I think before we actually go ahead and talk more about the kind of process of the VA stuff, I think we could go another giveaway.
Yes, perfect timing.
Yeah,
I was just about to say that. All right, guys. So we're doing another giveaway. It's going to be, we'll ask the question in just a sec. But so for the giveaway, if you're just joining us now, you have a chance to either win a PS4 version or a Steam version of Death End Request 2. And we will select 2 winners, and all you have to do is answer the question that we will be asking, and then we'll use Nightbot to randomly generate a winner.
Also, just a friendly reminder for those that are answering...
2. Huh?
Yeah, sorry.
What were you saying?
I was saying, for those that are just tuning in right now and want to participate in the actual giveaway, just make sure you don't spam. Once you input the actual answer, you'll automatically be inputted, and spamming doesn't increase your chances for winning. So just a heads up. Okay. So the question is,
does Rain want to ask it?
Oh yes, Rain. You want to ask it?
Rain, ask the question.
Sure.
Do you know what it is, Rain?
Okay, here I go.
just call him out.
Yeah, of course I do. All right, I got it. So the game is split between 2 different types of gameplay. By night, it's an RPG. But during the day, what kind of gameplay is on?
Did they cut off? Oh, there it is.
Did I get cut off?
There it is. The game is split between 2 different types of gameplay. By night, yes, visual novel it is.
People are listening to our words.
Wow, this is the first time I feel. Yay.
So again, just to stress the visual novel aspect of the game. The VN part of the game is kind of like the way it's the vehicle to kind of lead the narrative within Death End Request 2. And I think it's one of the bigger parts within Death End Request 2 in kind of understanding the story and also getting in tune with a lot of the characters within the game. So if you're not I hope you're a fan of visual novel games, because I think this game will definitely kind of open the doors for you as a new visual novel adventurer.
Yeah, the stories are it's like most of the stories in the visual novel, but it's like when I was playing it, I was definitely getting like lost and just wanting to know like more about this town and like what the heck is happening. Right. You guys have 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Look at this monster.
It's like it has fingies.
Ew.
It has fingies, and it's like a pod, almost like a foot.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Well,
it's almost like a foot.
Yeah, the monsters are like trippy as heck in this game.
Nice.
Alright, so the timer is done. So everyone stop guessing. We'll give you guys a few seconds because I know there's a delay. So just a few seconds. Okay. Okay, the Nightbot has won. Chosen giver. Master Age. Master Age is the winner.
My name's Master Age. I am the Master Age. Yes, I'm the master all around the sun. I am the biggest master. I am the master of age. You can count on everything that we say. I'm the master. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I messed up on the chords there, but you get the idea. Thank you. Yay!
Did he say anything? Did Master Age say anything?
I just wrote a dang song for this. Oh, I didn't write it. Okay, shout out to everyone that realized it's a neutral build song, but
Master Age,
but yeah.
Are you there?
Also, shout out to Buck Marvington. I just want to say, wherever you are, we're thinking of you. We love you.
Yo, shout out Buck. Yeah.
Master
Buck.
Age.
Master Age.
I don't know if I saw them say anything. I'm waiting.
Master Age. I freaking.
Okay, they responded. They said, "Oh yay!" Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh yay!
Wow.
All right.
Ubio Lord got timed out.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
All right. For winner number 2, Paige X. Paige X has won the giveaway. Congratulations. A song
Nice.
from Rain.
Rain, can you hit us with a Page X song?
Here we go. Wouldn't it be nice if Page X won? Yeah, she did without. Oh, fuck. That's.
Oh, Rain!
You're good.
I've never played guitar before.
Yay! Awesome!
Yes.
Thank you, Paige X, and thank you, Master Age. Please send a DM to Idea Factory INTL and let us know that you won, and then we will let you know how to claim your prize, and then we will send it to you on the release date. Yay! Mindless Baka said Rain actually said Buck, so good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking of. I was so emotional thinking of Buck.
Buck
Every time I. Yeah. Wherever he is, we're thinking of you. So.
Yeah.
We love
So
Hashtag Buck Marvington. Continue. Sorry.
awesome. So
I
we
forgot what
have
we were talking
like
about.
15-ish to 20-ish minutes left. So we
Okay.
have one more giveaway after this, and it's for a limited edition. So
Yes. So the last question is gonna be, we're gonna pick 2 winners, and they're gonna get the LE for Death Hunter Quest 2. So stay tuned for that. I think the last time we were talking, Rain, we were kind of talking about like the whole VA process of it. I know you were also telling me about the difference between the monologues within the game and the narrating is much different than the actual natural speech of things. Can you actually talk about a little bit more of that and how, like, did you feel like the monologue parts were very heartfelt, or did you feel attached to any of these characters that you were kind of editing? And
Oh yeah.
I think that's a very long-winded question, but
No, I think it all definitely goes together. I think one thing I really love about editing Death Quest is each of the characters in both games really, but especially in the second, each of the characters has such a a troubled backstory. You know, a lot of them deal with things in their own way and are very unique and are very kind of nuanced. And so by progressing the game, you definitely get a lot of that development. And some of those conversations happen in these sort of flashback and monologues, like before. And those are the kind of passages that really speak to me whenever I'm editing, because it's just this is the moment when the kind of the players and can kind of get a peek into who these people really are. And so we kind of give special care to that. And when we were recording Death End 2, we were sure to like note those sections. And then what we would do is typically when we're voice recording a game, we have the script in front of the voice actor, and then they kind of read line by line, and we take takes, and a lot of times we only have like 15 seconds to decide, does a line work as is, or should we do a quick rewrite? But with monologue sections, I mean, you have almost like paragraph chunks a lot of times, and so what we do is instead of having them read line by line, to kind of get it more flowing naturally, we have them read the whole thing. And those are my favorite moments in Star Wars. It's almost like reading prose,
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they're also touching, and in particular, I really love both Maya and Liana. I think that they're some of the best
I was actually
characters.
just going to ask you, like, how you, I guess, like, the emotional, like, a lot of the characters within this, you mentioned that they experience a lot of trauma within their lives, and kind of, there's a lot of emotional coming of age aspects within each character. Were there any particular characters that you kind of were really fond of, or anything that you related within the characters that you kind of want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, Liliana for sure is she's so motivated to be an exorcist. That's kind of what her dream is. She wants to grow up and she wants to be an exorcist, which is a crazy thing. I can't think of many people who set up an exorcist, but she overcomes such great odds and manages to retain like her authentic self. And I feel like that's such a relatable thing, especially because she looks up to Maya and Roddy so much. For her, they're her mentors, and so she kind of puts on a really strong facade despite kind of shouldering a really huge like emotional burden. And so actually, when we were recording some of those parts, a monologue part, voice actors nailed it.
Rain, we can't hear you.
It's one of those moments where. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you like started fading as you went back further.
The VA nailed it in one take, but I remember kind of the entire room was really quiet, and we were all just sitting and listening intently for it, and it kind of like. And so there's so many scenes.
Right.
Really fleshing out all the people, making the school and all of its inhabitants feel very, very for sure. So it kind of makes it more fun to explore in the visual novel section and just kind of get to know all of these people, because all of them have such interesting stories. I mean, when you think about an orphanage, what kind of tragic circumstances would leave, people to be there, and you, through these visual novel portions, you're able to have.
Right.
Wow. So like while you guys were talking, I started getting chased by a doll, and it freaked me out.
Yeah, I noticed that the doll was kind of like that creepy doll that was.
Someone was like, "That doll be chasing," and I was like trying not to scream. I was like, "Oh." I'm trying to see.
So I know you're the lead editor of Death End Request, Rain. Can you kind of talk about, I guess, the differences and similarities between like the characters within Death End Request and Death Request 2? Are they the arcs for these characters sort of different? And I'm just kind of filling in questions here, but
no, of course.
Just kind of talking about the Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. I think both of the games are. They kind of, they're connected by the same tissue, but yeah, I think they are kind of different stories. I mean, in the first one, you have Arata looking for Sheena. I mean, both stories obviously start with someone in search of another service. The scope of it is different. In the first one, you had World's Odyssey, which was this kind of teeming virtual world that Arata was able to go inside and find Sheena in there and then try to get her out. Whereas this game, the locale is completely different. We're in a small village that has secrets inside of it. We're seeing these things kind of out, but we're not really sure why, because this is, the real world, the same world that Arata we think, And for the first game, I felt like the stakes were big, but rooted around Sheena kind of extracting herself from the game. Whereas in this one, the kind of the cult conspiracy aspect comes back to it, but now you have 3 main protagonists instead of sort of a larger cast of 6, and I think that they all uplift each other, and their bond is so much closer. You see that in their interactions, you see that in some of the adventures they have, and some of the struggles they have to overcome. Kind of sneaking out at night to to go through all of these dark alleyways to find some clues as to where Snai would be a very overwhelming situation, you know, for anyone. I don't know if Adate would be able to handle what Mai and Roddy and Liliana handled in this game.
Right. Thanks, Ray. We are kind of slowly running out of time, so I do want to at least get the question for the last giveaway. So if you're just tuning in, this is the last question.
Did we talk about it?
We did. We actually talked about it in the beginning.
Oh,
very
nice.
briefly.
Yeah. So before we go into this, sorry, give me a second. Before we go into the actual question, let me just show you guys the LE really quick.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
So yeah,
right.
wow, ooh, oh my God! Is that a limited edition? What? What the? Ah!
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I forgot to put my microphone.
So this is a Death End Request 2 limited edition. As you can see, this is the PS4 version. Here you got the hardcover art book and also the Death End Request 1.5 visual novel. So this is the more storyline within the Death End Request universe.